Meeting is being recorded.
He has to be excused.
So you don't really like to scout by what I do. Right. I'm very fortunate to have that message. Yes, but I have to say, oh, yeah. I got all
Okay, good morning, supervisors, staff, and guests. Would you please sign in?
Mary, not present.
All in one?
No, I'm missing one. Chad, oh yeah, okay, we're good.
We're good? Okay. All right, we have how many? We have 17 present and 4 absent at this time. Okay, would you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We have a motion to approve the agenda by Supervisor Diedrich and a second by Supervisor Boyd. There are no additions or corrections. Please vote your ballot. We have 17 yes, 0 nays, 0 abstain, and 4 absent. Moving on to the minutes of November 6, 2023. If there are no corrections, please vote your, I have a motion by Supervisor Miller and a second by Supervisor Irwin. Please vote your ballot.
Mary?
Mary? Thank you. We have 17 yes, 0 nay, 0 abstain, so that the minutes have been approved. Are there any communications?
Our first communication is a resolution from Kenosha County on the individual health decisions pertaining to COVID-19 government lockdowns, vaccine, and mask mandates.
I'll refer that to Human Services.
All right, and then our second communication is a letter from Greg Brittnacker, Veteran Service Officer, to the County Board.
And we'll place that on file, and Greg is going on to law school, and we certainly will miss him. He's been a great advocate for the veterans. All right, moving on to the Kenosha resolution, we took care of that.
Public participation.
Public participation. Troy, would you wish to speak? Tony, excuse me, Tony. You can come up here. Tony and Joan.
morning, I'm Tony Cole. This is my wife, Joan. I get to do the talking.
You will have 3 minutes.
Okay, thank you. We live on County Trunk N. We live on the in Calumet County, Village of Harrison. We live on the section B that's bordered by Highway 114 and Highway 10. One of our major concerns that we're here today on is traffic concern. The traffic concern that I have, and it occurred to me, or happened to me again this last Friday, when we're making a left-hand turn, the traffic tries to pass us on the left-hand side after we have given adequate time as far as when we put on our turn signals. I talked to a number of our neighbors in the last couple of days. One neighbor has had it happen to him 4 times in 1 week. So what ends up happening, you're about to take a left-hand turn, you've signaled appropriately, and all of a sudden you look in your mirror and there's somebody right next to you. And in this section of highway, the speed limit is 55 miles an hour, so they're going quite fast. So this obviously causes a problem when you want to turn in your driveway. You put on the brakes and you let them pass and then you turn into your driveway. Okay, the left-hand turns is a major problem. Something similar happens on the right-hand turn, only it's not that big of a safety concern. They just pass you at a high rate of speed on your left-hand side, and now they're going head-on at traffic, and several times in the last year, I've seen almost head-on accidents from this happening. What can we do to solve the problem? The section of County Trunk N that runs from Highway 10 to Highway KK, that they have constant no passing on the entire section of road, and they have lowered the speed limit to 45 miles an hour. So obviously the frequency of something happening like this on a left-hand turn isn't going to happen. They also have a turn lane. Now, I'm not proposing a turn lane on our section, but what I would like to see is, number one, the entire section of our road, which is 0.8 of a mile, that does not have no passing, should be made to no passing. This is a segment of road that runs probably 0.5 of a mile at maximum. And that would increase the safety level, because then we would not have these people trying to pass us on the left-hand side when we're trying to negotiate a left-hand turn. On top of that, if they would also make the speed limit compatible with what it is on the section of N that is north of us and lower it to 45, that would also assist with the safety concerns that we have. Those are the biggest things I have. That everything?
Yeah, I just want to say, agree with that, because obviously I've been passed many times on the left-hand side as I'm trying to turn into my own driveway. Who are the people turning into that driveway? My family, my friends, other people that are just happening there. Down the road slightly, there's Keeper Road, there's a sort of a stand back there with vegetables and so on. A lot of traffic is making that left-hand turn there. They're coming into the exact same problem where they're getting passed. If you're not really, really, really cautious and constantly looking around, you're going to get hit.
Yeah.
And we've come pretty close a couple of times, so we're just really asking that you look at this, think about it. If you're not familiar with it, go out there and drive that little section, see what it's like, and understand that, you know, people are coming down. That's when they get to that portion, they can go 55. So they're revving it up, so to speak, and they're not always looking and thinking that person in front of you's got to slow down to get into their own home. And it's quite a few, it's a lot of our neighbors. They're all got the same exact complaint, if you would come and talk to them, or they may have talked to some of you. I know they've talked a little bit to Joe already, so.
It's intensified in the last number of years with the development that's occurred down the east side of the lake. The traffic has intensified. I went to the Traffic and Safety Commission, went to their meeting July 19th of 2022, and expressed the concerns I had. And at that time, they decided not to take any action. So I'm hoping that you folks see our situation and decide to take some action. If they don't lower the speed limit, at least make it no passing. It's only a half a mile segment of road that you would have to make no passing, and it would really increase the safety for us.
All right, your time is up, but we will carry through on that. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you for listening very much.
Thank you for your time.
All right, we have special business. Maggie Bruckner, who's our AmeriCorps member, will talk to you about youth in government. I did. There's a leg.
hi everyone. My name is Maggie Bruckner. And together with Todd, we have been creating a youth and governance program in Calumet County. So what it is basically it's an opportunity for youth to be able to sit on county committees and vote on issues. So the youth really get to develop their leadership skills, communication skills, and other important life skills while also empowering them through direct involvement in county decision making. And it really allows youth to contribute to county government and also to help develop themselves. So what the overall goal of the program is just to get youth excited and involved in county government, because before this they probably wouldn't have very much experience with it. And I'm sure when you guys were their age, this probably isn't where you expected yourselves to be, and now we get to help youth realize maybe, hey, this is something that's so cool and I'm so excited and I would love to be able to do this when I'm older. So where you guys come in, you guys can help spread the word to the youth in your community. So if you have like a niece or nephew or your own like child, you think this would be a great fit for them, or this would be something that they'd love to do, talk to them about it. I've left extra flyers back there if you want to take those with you. There also is an opportunity to mentor the youth. I'll talk more about that. And we also need feedback on program regulations, which I'll talk more about later. So what would this program look like? There would be year-long terms. As of right now, it's looking from May to May, so May the next following year. Who can apply? This would be school-age teens, ages 14 to 18, living in Calumet County. As of right now, that's the ages that we are offering this to, but obviously this can change if we decide this age doesn't work well or for whatever reason, so there's lots of flexibility in this. The youth, for the application and selection process, they're required to fill out an online application, so they'd answer questions like what would they bring to this program and what would they take away, questions like that. And then there's a possibility of a face-to-face interview with the youth and with Todd and Alice. But right now the selection process is under review, so when we know more, you all will know more. And then the mentorship program. So this is where you guys would come in. You would help acclimate the youth to to county government, so you can explain to them, oh, this is when you should be voting, or this is how to vote, those kinds of things. We've discovered that the programs that have the mentorship opportunities is where the youth have higher rates of coming back to the program because the mentor just made such a big difference to them in the program. So this actually is not a new idea. This already exists in 9 other counties in Wisconsin. So areas like Dane, Kenosha, Racine, all have had these programs for a long time. They all are run very similarly. So a majority have the mentorship program like I talked about. They have the youth sitting on committees. They have an attendance policy, so this means like the youth would have to come to like 50% of the meetings or like 75%. So that just tells them they need to come to like 6 meetings or 7 meetings. And as for how many youth sit on the committees, it's usually 2 per committee. So you might be wondering if there's even any interest in this. And excitingly, yes, there is. I sent out a survey to all schools in Calumet County, and I was able to get 61 students to reply, which, so it's not like it's a limited set of data, but even from this, it's only 61 people responding. We have 14 that are interested in joining a program like this. But so the youth said 79% said that they would be interested in voting on issues that affect them. 50% said that they saw issues in their community. So they're noticing issues in their community and they're willing to help work on them. The biggest issue they saw is pollution and litter. Well, so I know that doesn't really have anything to do with the program, but I just thought that'd be interesting for you guys to keep in mind as you're making other resolutions. As for the age group that's most interested, it seems to be, for some reason, freshmen and juniors. That seems to be where the biggest interest lies. So obviously what the students think is important, but also what their parents think is also important. So I also surveyed their parents, and over half of them said that their teen would be interested or might be interested in joining this program. But the concern is over missing school. So as you know, most or all committees tend to meet during the school day. So that will be the biggest challenge that this program faces. But Todd wanted me to let you guys know that those times aren't changing. So that's just something to keep in mind. So what we need from you, again, is the feedback on the rules. So rules such as the requirements of youth to join. Do you think that they should need like a certain grade point average or should have taken a certain class, things like that? What the selection and application process should look like? Who do you think should do the selection? Do you think it should be the extension committee, or should it be you guys? Should it be me or Todd? Yeah, just let me know what you think on that. And the max number of participants. So do you guys think that if all those 14 apply, that all 14 should get in, or should we start smaller? Something like that. And also the number of youth per committee. Do you guys think that 2 is good, how it's done in other programs? Also, if you think the youth should get a binding or non-binding vote, if you want the youth's vote to count towards the final tally in that, and which committees should participate in the program. So maybe you think like maybe the highway committee is in a good spot or whatever. So let me know. And where you're gonna let me know is on the survey. So I handed out that blue flyer, but behind it there should be a survey for you to fill out. You just answer questions, and I will stand by the door at the end to collect them, or you could fill them out while you're eating the sweet treat that Todd has purchased, and I can come collect them then as well. But yes, so thank you for your insights. I'm very excited to hear your thoughts. If you need to contact me, here, I went too far.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, okay. Well, my contact information is there, but my office is also right around the corner, so if you need to come, stop, and say hi or whatever, you're welcome to do that. So now we'll open the floor to any questions you may have. Todd and I will do the best that we can to answer them.
If you have any questions, please press your request to speak. Supervisor Schwallenberg.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The other counties that have youth, are they restricted? One of your questions is there a committee you think youth should not be on? Are the other counties have committees that they don't have any youth on or do not want any youth on?
I think for most counties, they go by when the committee takes place, because a lot of them in other counties are later at night, so then they only allow the later at night ones, so the youth don't have to miss school. But yeah, it's mostly based on the time that the committees happen.
So it's the time of the committee, not the makeup of the committee,
Yeah.
not like human services or admin. So,
Right.
okay, thank you.
Supervisor Clark.
Thank you. Wow, so many questions, so many comments. I think this is a great program. We talked about this at the Education Extension meeting a couple weeks ago. I don't see any reason why we would restrict the committees that they could be on. I think the more that our youth are involved in government in totality, the better. It may spark ideas. It may spark some interest in what they want to do after they graduate. And the reason you might see freshmen and juniors, kind of those are transitional years, so maybe there's something to do with that. I support this 100%. The only thing I would not support is a binding vote from the youth, because they're not elected, they're not, they haven't gone through the process, so I'm not sure how that would work, and I'm not sure that's a real good idea, but I support this 100%. I think it would be great. Also, Todd, I think if we could possibly even have them shadowing the administration as well on a regular basis, I think that would be a real eye-opener for the students. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Supervisor Booty.
Thank you very much. I also echo concerns about having votes for these members. If they're not yet 18, I mean, can we legally even let them cast a vote on the committees? Second concern I have here is outreach to the Appleton School District, Menasha School District, and Kimberly School Districts. I know while there's high schools aren't actually located in the county, we do have a lot of county residents who go to those schools, and I won't want us to exclude those from the opportunities of this program.
I have been reaching out to them. Kakana, I'm going into to speak to them. I didn't hear much back from Kimberly, though. But yeah, I have been reaching out to them, and I have been trying to include them as well.
All right, thanks.
Supervisor Boyd?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I very much support this. I think this is an excellent opportunity, especially as someone who has taught civics. I agree with what some of the other board members have said about casting ballots. I think it's good for them to learn the process, but I don't believe that their votes should be binding. I too worry about the times of our meetings. It would be nice to have these meetings later in the day, not only for this program, but for our board in general, because as someone who works, I had to take today off to be here, and I'm not being paid for my job today as a dedicated substitute teacher. So that might be something we can look into going forward for our next, after the election in April. So that's my biggest concern, because as a parent myself, with kids in school, you know, I don't want my kids missing school. They do get penalized at school sometimes, so parents would like to continue to meet at the times that they do, which I'm assuming they probably will. I know we've tried this before, it's usually not successful. We need to make sure that the students are getting things where they work closely with the schools so that they will not penalize these children for missing school, because I know there are issues about missing school and truancies, things of that nature. And I also have been reaching out to the Appleton Community and Kakana schools.
Thank you. All right, there are no other ones. Thank you, Maggie, and hopefully we'll be able to get this thing off of the ground.
All right, thank you.
All right, moving on to Resolution 2023-12.
Resolution amending the 2023 budget for the Wildlife Damage Abatement Program, introduced by the Land and Water Conservation Committee
I need a motion.
and the Administrative Services Committee.
I need a motion and a second.
They're there. Schwallenberg and Irwin.
All right, I have a motion by Supervisor Schwallenberg and a second by Supervisor Irwin. And Supervisor Huffsberger, would you speak to this resolution?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. The Wisconsin DNR notified the Land and Water Conservation Department that our 2023 award under the program would increase by $14,401 for the amount that was allocated for the 2023 budget, bringing the total to $28,701. This program provides resources to landowners for animal damage prevention assistance and partial compensation for damage to agricultural crops. We had more damage claims in 2023 than we had anticipated, and the DNR reimbursed us.
Supervisor Gens, would you want to speak anything to this?
No, I think all we're doing here is the resolution is asking to change the budget to reflect, instead of the $14,000 that we had built into our budget, the new figure of $28,000, so.
All right, thank you, Supervisor Gens. All right, are there any questions regarding this resolution? Seeing none, please vote your ballot. We have 18 yes, 0 nay, 0 abstain, and 3 absent, so that resolution has been adopted. Moving on to Resolution 2023-13.
Resolution approving amendments to Town of Chilton zoning ordinance on certain property in the Town of Chilton, property of Nelleson Real Estate Incorporated, introduced by the Planning, Zoning, and Farmland Preservation Committee.
All right, I have a motion by Supervisor Booty and a second by Supervisor Steer. And Supervisor, would you speak to this as well?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. Nellesen Real Estate Incorporated is requesting to rezone approximately 8.94 acres from general ag to rural residential, which will later be split to create 4 residential lots. The Town of Chilton administers their own zoning and approved the ordinance amendment on July 7, 2023. For rezoning to take effect within town zoning, a resolution is required to be sent to the county board for approval.
All right, are there any questions regarding this resolution? Seeing none, please vote your ballot. We have 18 yes, 0 nays, 0 abstain, 3 absent, so that resolution has been adopted. Moving on to 2023-14.
Resolution approving amendments to Town of Chilton zoning ordinance on certain property in the Town of Chilton, property of Jeff and Linda Hedrick, introduced by the Planning, Zoning, and Farmland Preservation Committee.
I have a motion by Supervisor Miller and a second by Supervisor Steer. And Supervisor Husberger, would you speak to this resolution?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. Jeff and Linda Hedrick are requesting to rezone approximately 10.73 acres from general ag to rural residential to be able to create a second residential lot on 3 or 4 acres. This property is also located in the Town of Chilton, and it was approved by ordinance at the Town Board meeting on October 9, 2023.
Are there any questions or discussion on this resolution? Seeing none, please vote your ballot. We have 18 yes, 0 nay, 0 abstain, 3 absent. That resolution has been adopted. Moving on to Resolution 2023-15.
Resolution for the purchase of 2306 South Oneida Street, Appleton, introduced by the Health and Human Services Board.
Do I have a motion?
I'm not sure that we can do it on the system.
All right, I just need a verbal motion. Would
Motion
you
to go
please?
to closed session.
All right.
Not closed session
No, I
yet.
need a motion and a second for the resolution.
Resolution of 2023-15.
I have a motion by Supervisor Steer and a second by Supervisor Schwallenberg. Do not vote. Now we'll go into closed session.
Hold on.
Please
You
vote
need a
your
motion.
ballot to go into closed session.
Just wait.
No? All right. We have moved the system.
Okay, now we need a motion and second to go to closed session.
All right. Now I need a motion and a second to go into closed session.
We have that.
Supervisor Clark and Supervisor Boyd.
Gonna vote to go to closed session?
All right, please vote your ballot to go into closed session. Supervisor Kessler, would you vote, please?
Chance back, I think you signed that one thing I gave you.
Okay.
We have 18 yes, 0 nays, 0 abstain, and 3 absent, so we are going into closed session.